Double brutes. There's one.
Not today, we won't.
Smash him. Time stop. Get a big bunch of charges. Oh, big hits. We can already smash again. Big smash. Smash. We'll just smash for days. Man, one down. Boom, boom. All the smashes. I am Lord Smash. Charge it up. Boom. He's dead. Let's go. There's Balara doing her electricity. Yeah, get him, Balara. Nice.
Doors are open, right? There's a lot more on time. We'll lead them
There is
away.
nothing wrong with two-handed charged attack build. Oh, this is... I'm so happy this turned out as good as it did. Big boy, jump in. Let's knock him back. Get a charge. Can we get two? We got two charges off. Hell yeah. Balara slam. Boom. Get two charges off. Another big hit. Let's get another slam going. Let's get another just smash for days. Let's just smash for days. Get this guy double. Boom. Double slam. We should be focusing the... I'm having too much fun. We should be focusing the blight. They're just gonna keep spawning. Nice.
Get ready. More dark spots.
Oh, Jesus. Smash them. Charge attack. Bam. Balara. Time slow. Slam. Slam. They're all gonna on their way down. We're gonna get a full, nice, big, juicy charge. Boom, 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 boom. Damn. Finish him off. Ugh. Nice. Alrighty. Ogres. Let's get Imric on him right off the bat. Let's bonk him. We'll get time stop going. Let's get that triple charge. Oh, he already lost his whole armor before the next one dropped. Let's back out. Get the slice. Get the bonk back in there. They're both stunned. Can we get the triple? Can we get the triple? We're getting it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's bonk him again. All right, now that we have all three of them up, we probably need to do a little bit of ability spam. Let's get Imric up. Now it's just gonna be Detonation, domination, everything. That other one's about to die. Can we get a single charge off on this guy? We're getting it. We don't care. Oh yeah, you hit us. We're going back in. Let's get all of our health back. Boom. All of our health back. Boom. Nice. Let's go, dude. That's what we like to see.
Everybody ready?
Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge. Alrighty, Alganon. Let's use our ruin. Let's hit him with the bonk. Into Balara. We got a time stop. Let's see if we can get a triple charged attack. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting a triple charged attack. Huge damage. Get Emmerich on him. Bam. Can we get another charged attack before he teleports? Oh yeah, we got it. Heck yeah. Hit him with the blade. Nice. Is he gonna jump on us? Oh, he's not gonna jump on us. He's gonna do the annoying thing. We're just gonna keep smashing him to counter his abilities. Get another charge. Yes, do it. Hit him with the blade. Oh, Emmerich got his weakened. Let's detonate him since Emmerich procced his ability. Let's get Emmerich back on him as well so we can get our rage. Oh, Balara's up again. Can we get a triple? Can we get a triple? Come on. Oh, yeah. Damn. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? All right, let's hit him with the blade. Oh, just out of range. Let's get him with the charge attack. Get a rage back. Nice. Whoop. Bash him. Hit him with the blade. Oh, we didn't time that well enough. Our health is back to full. Doesn't matter. Hit him with the blade again. Let's get our ruin back up. Might as well while we have a chance. Go back in. We're not gonna ult. We got Balara up. Triple charge. Bam. Don't be rude. Even if he hits us, like, we just get so much health back. Get Emmerich back on him. Nice. Let's smash him again. He's almost done already. Let's end it with a ground slam. Whoosh. Let's go. That's so nice. You do like 15k when you get a full charged attack off on it during the time slow. You do that the whole game. Ay, 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 this build is nice. Two-hand Slayer is a thing. It works. It's awesome. Let's go, dude. Hey YouTube, I'm just Anthony. Welcome back to another Dragon Age Veilguard build guide. We did it. Two-hand Slayer on the warrior, and not only did we do it, it is awesome, it's fun, and the damage was much higher than I thought it was going to be. I will say bossing is probably the weakest part because it's just a little bit slower. I still felt unkillable, right? It's still an amazing play style. But when it comes to actually doing all the rest of the content that's not bossing in the game, all your mobbing and everything else, your questing, your general enemies that you're fighting, which is the majority of the game, I felt like this build just exceeded my expectations because of how much damage you could do with charged heavy two-handed attacks. It's crazy. And then I understand why with this combo now that your heroic leap, your bonk, which knocks them to the ground and gives you time to use your charged attack abilities. The way it works is wonderful, and because your charged attacks later on as well, you can get so much rage back that you're just bonking, charged attack, bonking, charged attack, and you're actually building rage while you're doing that. You're not losing rage. It's actually crazy. I love it. It's great. Once again, I do want to take a side note to say I appreciate all the support that we've been getting on YouTube. It still surprises me every day how much people are loving our build guides and our videos. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. The subscribe is the most important thing you can do to help me out. I don't want to set up tips, or I don't want anybody to be, you know, trying to send me money through any electronic means. I would love for just that free subscribe button. Have YouTube do the monetizing, right? Make them pay. make them pay. I want you guys to just enjoy the guide just by hitting that free subscribe button. That's all I want. You know, that's good enough for me because I'm having so much fun building a community already. It's a win already. Anyways, you know, enough with the sappy stuff. Let's move into the build guide. I'm actually going to start off by first talking about the abilities right now and how we use them. All right, jumping into the abilities. On our main character, we are using the Heroic Leap, the Groundbreaker, and the Cleaving Strike. These things are all 3 strike abilities, and we are taking a lot of influence from our recent Master of Blades Rogue Guide. I'm happy I made that Rogue Guide because it influenced the success of this Two-Hand Slayer build, which is great how one build can influence the success of another build just because you learn things from that previous build on an entire another class, right? And I love that. So our bread and butter, which is that Heroic Leap, you're going to get this early in the game. We'll have a leveling section of why this is so good so early once you unlock it. The main concept of the Heroic Leap, you jump in, you hit the target with this giant mythical hammer that you just summon, and it's going to smash the target into the ground. It puts knockdown on them. Now, when they get knocked down, you have time to get at least 1 heavy charged attack off. But then because of our skill tree abilities, anytime you do a charged attack, even if it's only 1 stage of charge, you get a free secondary light or heavy charged attack to follow it up. So even if you only ever knock them down, get 1 stage of a charge attack, which is really all you want to do, you're still going to get a 2-pronged charge attack, which is going to give us a massive amount of rage, enough rage, especially late game, to immediately bonk and slam them into the ground again. And you can repeat this process unless it's an unstoppable enemy or a boss style enemy. You can just bully anybody you want. They can't do anything. They're going to just have to eat your heavy charged attacks for days. It's wonderful. Now, we have Groundbreaker and Cleaving Strike. They both cost 100 rage, whereas our Heroic Leap only costs the 50 rage, and because of our helmet and our necklace, we're reducing rage costs a lot. But 100 rage is a lot of rage. So what we're doing to counter that, we have 1 time stop mage with us, and that's going to be Balara. This is the first time I'm using a time stop mage. And when you activate time stop, of course, it slows down all time other than us. And with the time stop talents, the first ability you use while in the time stop duration is a free use. And when time stop ends, we gain 50 rage. So you activate time stop, you get 1 of your 100 rage cost strike abilities, whichever one you want to get out, you use them, it's free. You get a 2, or what you really want is your full 3 charged 2-handed heavy attack going. And that's going to build an insane amount of rage. And if you can get it to charge level 3, you get a bonus for fully charging, and it does a massive amount of damage. You guys probably saw from some of the initial gameplay, if you could get it to 3 charges, you hit for 6k plus every spin of the charge. It's wonderful. And then coming out of that time stop, you actually just built like 200-300 rage. You just built a ton of rage for her, giving you 50 rage for all the rage you're getting from the charged attacks, because also on our talent tree we get rage per charged attack level. So if you can manage that 3rd charged attack level during the time stop, coming out of the time stop, we're ready to just blast. We have almost a full bar of rage, and we can just blast. It's wonderful. Now, the other person I'm using was Emmerich. He can also be used as a time stop mage, which I was doing with that. It was nice, but I actually just switched him over to the bell tolls because honestly, once you're going and you get bell tolls on that first target, you kill the target, bell toll spreads to everything else. You have so much rage regeneration that for the rest of that fight, you're just spamming your abilities and then getting charged attacks in when you're ready. The fight's over, you move into the next area, and your time slow is up again, and you just repeat the whole process. I didn't need 2 time slows for the same area typically. Now, you can switch Emmerich to another time slow, or also, I'll leave this in the leveling section, I didn't have Emmerich. I was using Balara and Nev for a long time because they are also both time slow mages, but I wasn't using time slow in the early game. That came later. In the leveling section, I'll cover why I used Balara and Nev during the early game and why I didn't use time slow on them. All right, guys, so that is the way it is. Imric also, I liked switching to him because he can auto cast every 60 seconds Entangling Spirits, which if you saw the Elganon fight, we did get several detonations or a few detonations in there, and the Heroic Leap detonates weekend, and so does Groundbreaker. So every 60 seconds, you know, of your gameplay, Imric gives you a free detonation. It's pretty nice. And Balara gives you free heals. Anytime you get to low health, she can auto proc her replenish with, I think it's called contingency. So both of these companions have auto cast abilities that are separate from the abilities we're telling them to cast, and it's just pairing really nicely with us. Anyways, let's jump into the skill tree real fast. Alrighty, jumping into the skill tree, here we are. We have our Slayer, our two-handed warrior. It's fantastic. I'm not going to cover in the specific order of leveling. We'll save that for a leveling section of the guide. I'm going to just start in the middle and cover all the important nodes as we work up and around through the tree. Jumping right on in, Counter Blow and Focus Retaliation are both right off the bat pretty good talents. Titan Stomp is a great talent to first get when you start the game, just because it's a area of effectability that does not cost rage. Ability power. We have Physical Resistance plus 10%. We gain rage when we take damage. We have 100 health. We have plus 50 maximum rage. We have Groundbreaker, which is going to be one of our abilities, and 15% more ability damage. And then we have maximum burning stacks. So with late game, when we are spamming Groundbreaker, it is applying burning to the targets. Moving down here, we have each of our active advantages increases damage by 10%. Right here, we have Rage Generation, very important. When we block, we gain Flaming Weapons on Perfect. Heavy attack damage plus 10%, fantastic. And then Grappling Spear for more ability power and early game usage, no rage cost. We have going down here, this mostly is the charged attack damage, 15% when the target's suffering from an affliction, because we are charged attacking mostly. Charged attack damage plus 10%, ability power. Coming down here, critical damage, phenomenal. Generate 30% more rage with weapon attacks, because we're always going to have afflictions on the target. So this is going to be 30% with your weapon attacks. So big for the build. We have affliction damage. Cleaving Strike is going to be one of our other late game abilities. Fun fact with Cleaving Strike, you don't want the target to be right in your face, and you don't want the target to be too far away where you don't hit them. If I hit additional information, effective versus enemies greater than 10 meters away, but the ability only goes like, I don't know, 14 meters or something. There's no, I can't see a maximum on it. You have to, for the max amount of damage, you have to hit the targets right at the tip of the ability's blade. So a little tricky to get used to, but when you do get used to hitting them right at the end of the blade, it does so much damage. It's great. Moving right on up, we have that 50 rage. When we're rage dumping closer to the end of the game, we're doing 200% of all that rage we dump as fire damage. We have our charged attacks apply bleeding, another bleeding stack, and any strike ability we use applies an affliction aligned with that ability. Going down here, charged attack damage 10%, fantastic. Penetration 15%, fantastic. Rolling Thunder. This is going to augment your combat style for the entire game once you get it. This is going to be your primary your bread and butter attack combination with your heroic leap. So when you charge up an attack, if you just charge up your two-handed weapon attack one time and utilize the charge attack, you can then follow it up with a free secondary charged attack that you did not have to charge. So you get two charged attacks for one charge. And you know how easy it is. It doesn't take long to charge your weapon just one time. And the reason that's great is it's going to come down here with heroic leap. So heroic leap, especially early on when you first get this, you're going to jump in, as you see with the thing. You're going to hit the target. The target's going to get knocked down. Their face is going to get planted into the dirt. You then have time while they're standing up to get that one charge off on your two-handed weapon, Heavy attack is what I prefer. I don't really use charged light attacks. You get that one charge off, hit them with it as they're standing up, and then you get that free secondary hit with that second charged attack. And then that gives you enough rage typically at the end game with your full build to immediately go into another heroic leap if you wanted to and continue that process, and you can bully the mob pretty much. Coming down here, 15% penetration, very good. This one is massive for the build. Two-handed wind up. This is going to give us a crap ton of damage. At the bottom, this makes it where our two-handed weapons can charge in additional times. When it says greatly increases its effectiveness, I feel like they should capitalize greatly. It greatly increases the amount of damage. So if you could get that 3 charges, which is why we're using at least one time stop mage, when you get that 3 full charges, which by the way can end up being 4 charges because you can finish it up with 1 extra charge at the end there, it's going to hit for like 100% more than what it would normally do. If your normal charge attacks were hitting for 3.5k each, this is going to hit for like 6.5, maybe even upward to 7k, depending on the armor of the target for each charged hit. Add that up for 4 of the hits. I've done almost 20k damage on a weaker enemy, maybe not too armored, and just one shot it like something like the Darkspawn you're seeing in the image right there. It's absolutely nuts. And then right when you do that, this is just more charged attack damage, 10%. Right when you get that full 3 charges off, boom, you charged attacks generate more rage relative to the charge level. You can have almost no rage, activate that time stop, and do that full charged attack. Oh my. Your rage bar's almost full. Your rage bar says, let's go, dude. Coming right down here, after a short delay, your charge attack's still a little bonus damage. Coming over here to this side, physical damage plus 10%, fantastic. This one is huge. Hitting an enemy with a strike ability grants us precision. What precision does is it makes our next charged or final attack guaranteed crit. Well, this is a strike ability. So remember I was telling you about that bread and butter combination. You jump in, smash the target, gain precision. The moment you do that, go into a charged attack. That double charged attack after your heroic leap is a guaranteed critical. You never want to use your charged attacks really that much, especially mid to late game, until you've already used a strike ability, which all 3 of our abilities are strike abilities. So every time we use a strike ability, we're gaining precision. You never really want to use a big charged attack unless you've already procced your precision, because you want to guarantee your charges are going to be criticals. Arc of Destruction, not too big of a deal. Weapon damage plus 10%, ability damage plus 10%. This is great because of double-edged talent. Our abilities power buffs our weapon power, and our weapon power buffs our ability power. They double dip within each other, and we're going to be using charged attacks and abilities the entire playthrough. This isn't like you get to the end game and you stop using charged two-handed attacks. We're going to do that the entire playthrough, and that's what I know a lot of people were asking for, is they want to use charged attacks all the way through the game. I got you covered. That's what we're doing. It's part of the build. We need it to build a bunch of rage. Coming right down here, expending rage heals you for 100% of the rage spent. That's going to fight the damage we're doing for our ring. Now, you have noticed that I am missing one talent. It says smash abilities are now charged attacks. For Whirlwind, this applies only to the final hit. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's cool. So now this is a what, like a strike, smash, and charged attack? Is it a strike charged attack? What does that make this? Nope. What this does is it looks like it turns this either into a smash charge ability and it removes the strike, or it removes the smash as well and just makes it a charged. All your smash abilities are charged. Terrible. Because what happens is when we jump in with our heroic leap that's supposed to be a strike and smash, we are no longer getting precision. Because for whatever reason, this overrode the strike and smash type tags on this ability, and our other strike abilities are the only way this is going to work. I don't want that. I do not want that. I had to take this off earlier in the game. Right when I noticed I stopped getting precision, it irritated me. I was like, why am I not getting precision anymore? Boom. Do not take this. You actually break your build a little bit because it hurts your heroic leap. This is the only ability, and it sucks that does that, right? And I know it's probably for balancing issues. They didn't want this to be strike, smash, and charged. Like, it's too many modifiers. I guess it would make this really, really strong, God forbid. But yeah, it breaks. These two talents do not interact with each other. I had them either bug out or they just don't work. Coming back up here, let's continue the tree. That was my little rant. I had to rant on that. It bothered me. We have ability damage. We have stagger from charged attacks. We have damage versus armor, more stagger. Weak point damage for our strike abilities. It's a little extra damage. Defeat an enemy with a strike ability replenishes 25 rage. This one's actually really nice, especially late game. Our helmet refunds us 25% on impact. Our necklace gives us 25 rage when we crit, and this gives us 25 rage when we kill an enemy. If you can finish an enemy off with your heroic leap, you actually will build rage, because you're getting the full 50 back plus the 25% rage from your helmet. You finish off an enemy with the strike ability, preferably your heroic leap, you will gain rage. That's kind of cool. Smash abilities permanently reduce the defense of the target by 20. Great. Let's whittle them down. This one's nice. Enemies are knocked down when you break their armor. This just gives you time to get another charged attack off after you break like a dark spawn's armor or any armor. You can then go up to them and get them a free charged attack off, which is going to give you a bunch of rage, and then you can just smash their face in the ground again and do it over again. We have damage versus armor, more ability power, maximum rage. Rage no longer goes below 50. We have breaking an enemy's armor or barrier with the smash ability grants enhanced damage. We have more rage generation plus 10% right here, and into the additional ability power. That is the build. Do not take charge to smash. That's all I got to say on that note. This is amazing. This build was fun. Enough said on the skill tree. Let's move over to the equipment. Alrighty, equipment. First, let's go through some stats real quick. 228 defense, 41% physical resistance, 3.3k HP. Very nice. We have critical bonus, 45%. And we have 40% penetration. Fantastic. Most of what we're doing is physical damage. So that's very nice. We want that as much as possible. Rage generation, 70%. Very good for a part of the build. Going into our weapons, my nose is a little stuffy, I apologize. We have Executioner's Blade, 30% charged attack damage, stagger from charged attacks. Everything else really doesn't matter. You can use a different one-handed weapon if you like. We're not even using one-handed weapons. We're all about that two-handed weapons. I love Captain's Heater, and it's only for the 3 affixes that first start it. 30 defense, 100 health, 10% to all resistances. The weapon damage is increased by 15% of the sum of all your resistances. Doesn't matter, and from what I've seen, it does not affect our two-handed weapon. But the first 3 modifiers does affect our character, even if the shield's not actively being held. Going down here, we have the Etched Raider's Axe. 30% charged attack damage. That is pretty much all I'm using it for. You still want to get it all the way to legendary so it could do the most damage possible, plus that plus 10. But it has agile attack damage. And it says the second hit of charged light attacks now also count as an agile attack. I'm not using charged light attacks. I'm using charged heavy attacks almost predominantly. And I'm going to tell you right now, past the mid game, I actually unbound my light attack from my mouse button that normally is your light attacks, because I got tired of holding shift for my heavy attacks. I unbound my light attacks and put my heavy attack as where my light attack was, and I kept light attacks unbound. I said, get it out of here. We're about the big two-handed slayer damage. I'm done with this light attack stuff. I don't even want to hold shift. My character is going to heavy attack, and that's all we're doing. Didn't regret it. I did not regret it. It was amazing. I loved the class fantasy of a big two-handed weapon with huge overhead strike attacks into a flipping another overhead strike attack. That's why I'm calling it the Executioner. It's so good. We're lopping off heads. Moving on over here, similar to our rogue, I like that our Master of Blades rogue build really influenced this build. We have Karaste's double hat, rage regeneration, 30% ability damage if we share the same ability type. All of our abilities are strike abilities, 25% ability cost refunded on impact. We did put 10% physical resistance on there. On the axe, by the way, I put 10% weapon damage to increase it. On our researcher's coat, this is huge. It's going to keep us alive through thick and thin. We can survive everything. It's 20% damage while at low life. Leech 5% of your damage as health. We're going to always be putting bleed on the target ourselves. So we're always going to be leeching 15% of all damage we do, especially our big old juicy heavy charged attacks. And then of course we have the ability on our Slayer tree where we get health for all the rage we spend. Moving down here, I chose to use the Crow's Bandolier just so for the plus 10% physical damage because I wanted more damage and we were never using potions. I would say past my 40s, I never used potions anymore because I just had so much life still, so I wanted more damage. You can use whatever belt you want, you're just going to lose 10% phys damage. We have the Crow's Perch Medallion. Absolutely, you need this for the build to sustain abilities. This also is just one of the best necklaces when you're using strike abilities. You only need it purple. You only need the first 3 abilities. The gain immovable when you stagger an enemy does not matter. We do not care about that. Get this to purple, you're done, set, which can happen earlier in the game, right? So that's a bonus. I did put 15% critical damage on the necklace. We have the Maul of the Black City, you probably already saw. All of our abilities are always crits, and we're supposed to consume 20% of our maximum health as fizz damage. We take no health damage. We are so tanky, and we regenerate so much HP. I did put 25% rage regeneration on that because I want to regenerate just a maximum, so much rage. We have Biting Thumb. This is great because we are a charged two-handed build. The moment I got this, I threw it on and kept it on. 10% weapon damage, 10% charged attack damage, and then 15% weapon critical and weak point damage. And of course, 25% for armor and barrier, mostly due to that armor. 25% more damage to armor is pretty nice. And then I enchanted it with 50 more maximum rage. You could enchant it with strike ability damage. You could enchant it with anything you really want. I just like having more rage, and that's for our dagger. Once again, I'm addicted to it. Redouble. 10% more ability damage. You gain 100% of your rage bar when you activate it. This is going to be our activatable. I have Vivify again. 10% rage generation. You saw this with our rogue build. It was the 10% momentum. And then we have Pierce. 10% penetration for the passive. Fantastic. For our abilities right down here, the Heroic Leap, 75% crit damage enchant. 25% ability crit damage on our Groundbreaker, and 75% crit damage on our Cleaving Strike. Crits on our abilities, crits on our two-handed charges. That's all we care about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's move over to companions real quick. Alrighty, companions. Let's speed run these companions. The most important things. Balara, our critical ability hits apply shock. We're always critting with our abilities, so we're always applying shock to the target. We're always applying bleeding to the target as well with our talent tree. Coming right over here, we have a revival charge, so she can revive us if we make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You get too cocky with a charged attack, and then you get walloped or something. Coming right down here, we're going to be using Balara as a time slow mage. So she's going to just freeze time. What that's going to do is we're going to do 25% more damage during that time slow. We're going to gain 50 rage when the time slow ends. And our next ability used while we're time slowed is going to be free. That's insane. That's awesome. And then we have cooldown duration and the intensity of the time slow. This is great too because when we activate Balara's time slow and we're initiating combat on that first enemy, we want to get that full 3 charges off on our two-handed weapon late, especially late game, so we can get those huge charged attack damage numbers, and we can just build our entire rage bar really quickly. And she's going to do that. What's nice is she also is a auto healer. If you get low on HP, her contingency is going to auto heal you with her replenish, and then you get all the benefits for that as well. So it's great. Immovable. I got immovable duration. We have you gain some more ultimate when she does that, and then I did have her, I believe, destroy the archive, so it turned her into her Veilguard skill. She has chain lightning. This actually can proc a good amount if you can spread shocked to all the enemies around you. As long as each enemy has shocked and then she attacks one of them, it's going to then shoot this chain lightning that does, when it says shocked enemies dealing 100 damage, it's like 100 damage every second. And as long as they keep having the shock debuff on them, once she initiates this, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until shock falls off the target or until the target dies. And you'll see all the electric just going towards in between all the targets. It's pretty neat, actually. I kind of want to make a build around it. And then going over here, we have Mr. Emmerich. I will say I did have Nev as another option. For those who know already, you cannot have Nev and Ballara the entire playthrough. So that's why I did go with Emmerich. Emmerich actually paired really well anyways. Notable items, your ability critical hits now apply necrosis. So now I apply shock with Ballara and I apply necrosis from Emmerich when I crit with an ability. So I'm applying at least 3 afflictions just myself by using my abilities. I'll take free affliction damage any day. And then we put another revival charge on Emmerich. So we have 2 revival charges, one on Ballara, one on Emmerich. We are playing a warrior. We are doing two-handed stuff. Again, mistakes happen. At least you have 2 revives to counter those mistakes. I am using Bell Tolls primarily on Emmerich just because I found that I didn't need a double time stop a mage. But if you're loving the time stop, huge charged attack damage, I actually respect Emmerich later on. You can actually still go time slow. And all of his abilities right here are the same as Ballara, and you can have 2 time stop mages, which is just going to elevate this build so much. I still just chose to use Bell Tolls just for that rage regeneration and then spread it on all the targets after he kills it, because we have so much rage generation late game. Early game though, if you want, don't go Bell Tolls, use another time stop and you'll have 2 time stop mages. For him, I do have auto cast on his entangling roots, or his entangling spirits, sorry. It does apply weakened. We detonate weakened with 2 of our abilities. So every 60 seconds from right up here, we could detonate off of Emmerich. And then I have 25% more affliction damage, which we do have multiple afflictions on the target. So that's just a little bonus for making him turn into a lich. Alrighty, let's jump into, I believe, the leveling section. For leveling, we did jump back to our skill tree. Now, we are going to start in the same point we did right here, moving right on up with counter blow, going right into focus retaliation, getting that Titan Stomp, getting that physical resistance. We are then going to work our way down to advantage, to here. We're going to get the flaming weapons. You're going to go up here, heavy attack, and go over here to grappling spear. This is going to be your initial route. The reason we're doing this is then we're going to have driving kick. I then, on my second ability, like to put grappling spear. And then on my third ability slot, I like to put Titan Stomp. And this is great for the early game. And that you can see that that's not that many points in. And you're already going to have 3 abilities that you can use all 3 of them every fight. This is the only ability that costs rage, is your driving kick. So you can like go into a group of enemies in the early game, pull that ranged dark spawn or ranged enemy, whatever it is, pull it towards you if you want, stack it up, hit everything around you now with a Titan Stomp, go into some heavy charged attacks because you Titan Stomp and knocked things down, get like 1 heavy charged attack off on the target. And then if you have a companion with detonate, then do a nice little driving kick detonation, because you should have built enough rage just with your opening combo of grappling spear into Titan Stomp. You should be ready to then driving kick combo, and then just of course keep playing the game, and you're going to have all 3 of these up every single fight in the early game. Your spear, your Titan Stomp, and kick. And that's going to carry you through the early game. After that, we're going to then start working our way straight down this way. You don't need to get Fury of the Forge. Go straight down, get this, come up, path all the way through here. The sooner you get Insight Violence, the better, because it's just going to build your rage quicker. Affliction damage, we're going to go down here, get our charged attack damage right here. We're going to get the bloody vengeance right here. So our charged attacks early on are going to start doing bleed stacks. You don't need to get this stuff right here yet. And then we're going to start working our way down, going straight down. Now, you might not be level 20 yet, even though you already got here, because a lot of times you get those early statues. You get those a lot of free skill points early on. And so you might actually get here pretty quickly before you're even level 20. Start working your way straight up the side. Go right up here, get this skill point, or sorry, this ability power, get the maximum rage, and then get enduring rage. Enduring rage is awesome because if you can practice at the end of every fight, always on the last mob, try to make sure you have at least 50 rage built up by the time you kill that last mob in any fight. So you're always carrying 50 rage into the next confrontation you're going into, and it's great for the initial engagement and starting any combat encounter. So don't waste your abilities when there's one mob left. At least make sure you have 50 rage built up. After that, if you've already hit level 20, then start working your way down here. Get that heroic leap, come over here, get your physical damage, and get your precision when you use heroic leap. You are fully online because you got Rolling Thunder active, and then right after 20, you got your heroic leap and your strike abilities give you precision. You're set. You're online. You can start, if you haven't been, you can start fully utilizing your two-handed weapons. You have your Rolling Thunder. Jump in, smash the target, get your precision, get your double heavy attacks off. Now, during leveling, I will say also, during these two directions right here, for your level 30 nodes, go left first because you want two-handed windup. You should already by now have a time stop mage that has every time stop trait, since they only have to be level 3. Make sure you go from level 30. You want to get these abilities first. These abilities are insane. This one, two-handed windup, coupled with the Führer for the more rage with charged attacks. These two are so necessary, and if you can get them at 30, you're good. And by the way, when I say get them at 30, the moment you hit 30, you can take some skill points out of other talents you're not really needing, some talents that you were using fillers, and right when you hit 30, you can get at least these three right here. The same right when you hit 30. Same thing when you hit 20. When you hit 20 and you want to get all three of these right when you hit 20, just take some other skill points off of your tree and then boom. Because there's no point value you need to unlock. It is just a level value. So you hit 20, take off at least 3 skill points somewhere else, and then make sure you unlock all 3 of these at the same time. After that, your build's online. Of course, after 40, come grab all of these right away after 40. But once you're 20 and you grab these initial nodes right here, then you can work your way back up. You can come in here. You can grab all these fun nodes. You can go back to the top after that, work your way up this way to get Groundbreaker. So therefore, you have your 3 primary abilities, and you can use whatever ability you want with Balara's Time Stop, Nev's Time Stop, Emmerich's Time Stop, whoever you're time stopping with. Remember, your 100 rage cost abilities, your Groundbreaker and your Cleaving Strike. Those are what you're going to want to use early during the time stop because they're going to give you a free usage during time stop. They're not going to cost any rage, and then go into a charge heavy attack if you like. So free usage. Other than that, during a no time stop, early on, when you don't have a ton of rage, make sure you're primarily just using heroic leap with charged attack combinations and only using your 100 rage cost abilities if you have too much rage and you're ready to just dump. Groundbreaker is great if maybe you have you're over half your rage bar or more and you have 2 or 3 targets in front of you, and you could be like, okay, Groundbreaker is going to give me a pretty good amount of potential right here, right? Then use it. You can get like your extra burning stack way later in the game. You can get your extra bleeding stack later in the game. You can get your explosive anger later in the game. There's a lot of like little filler nodes. You can finish this off later in the game. This, of course, later. So pretty much the build. Once you get 20, you get this stuff, come up over here, you're online. After that, it's going to be your equipment is most important, and maintaining your equipment. 30 and then 40 plus. That is your skill tree. Your weapons, again, use whatever weapons and armor you have while you're working your way towards the in-game build. Your companions for the leveling are going to be Balara, Imrik, and Nev is who I wanted to use. Now, Balara and Nev, I was using them early and I wasn't actually using them as time stop mages. There is an ulterior you can use them. So both Nev and Balara go really well with each other. I was using Galvanized Tear on Balara. I had it all the way upgraded with the increased radius. Galvanized Tear pulls all the enemies together and they can attack you during this time. If you see the image, they're getting pulled and they're getting like staggered. You can charge your two-handed weapon attack and then attack during that. And get this, right before Galvanized Tear's about to end, you could then go to Nev, and what I was doing is I was using Blizzard immediately after that to lock and freeze the targets in place by making sure you go all the way down in this way, and then that also applies a bunch of shield stacks. But while they're frozen in place, now you can continue to do more charged heavy attacks. I actually initially wanted Balara and Nev to be my companions for the whole game, and after I was halfway through with my playthrough, something clicked in my my dummy brain, which was like, hey, you can't use Balara and Nev for the whole playthrough. And I was like, dang it, I can't. That's right. All right, guys, well, that is my leveling advice and tips for you. Hopefully it helped. So guys, that is the guide. That is our two-handed slayer. I actually, you know, was a little worried that it wasn't going to turn out well because this is actually the third iteration of the two-hand slayer, and the Master of Blades rogue build was part of that build, inspired this build because I used my knowledge for that Master of Blade build to make this a success. I actually tried to create this two-hand slayer build before the rogue guide a while back, and I dumped it. I stopped doing it and I had to restart because I wasn't happy with where it was going. I was trying to call it like the Big Bonk Warrior or something like that. Not every guide I do is a success. I think there's been about 3 guides that I've dumped and had to start over because I wasn't happy with them. And if I'm not happy, I'm not gonna throw garbage out there, right? I will restart if it's not working. So this is like the second or third iteration of a two-handed slayer build, because I mean, it's got to be good. If it's not good, I'm not putting it out there. So thank you guys so much for the support once again. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I hope you have every day past this to be just as wonderful. I'll see you guys next time. Later.